in the name of sustainability, the entire movement has been taken over by the banks. And it is no surprise that now at this point of time, more than 80% of microfinance is being provided by the banks. The banks are essentially, a profit-seeking organization. So, a movement which was started with very, very noble intentions, now it has been taken over, as a business, as an industry. So, this is, I think, a very, very major reason that people are now being treated as customers. People are now being treated as clients. So, they are not now the partners in development. And then, attached with that is the high rates of interest, high service charges, 30, 40, 50%, even to 100% in some Latin American countries. So all these things have taken the beauty out of this movement. It was started with an objective of providing means of livelihood to the poor families. But if something is now being taken as a business, so you can understand that business has totally different ethics, different environment, and different kind of objectives. This is the responsibility of the state to take care of its poor. If state doesn't take care of the poor, then what is why it is existing? And I think the central banks and the state should formulate strict policies and rules that what kind of attitude it is, that you are giving money to the people in the guise of poverty alleviation, and then you are building so much pressure that people are unable to unlock their potential and then unable to cope with the situation. State must intervene. State is to ensure a proper environment, proper legal structure. The customers, the clients, they have also their rights. So the state should ensure that all the actors, all the stakeholders, whether NGOs, whether banks, whether MFIs, they should have a code of ethics, and that should be strictly monitored. That anything which is given with good intentions should not turn into a curse. Interest-free microfinance was a totally different idea, and when we started this program, everybody said that you are mad. What are you doing? How is it possible? How is it sustainable? How will you grow? But we have seen that we started this program with only $100. And at this point, the program has grown more than 60, 70 million US dollars. So the one, loanee has now been converted into 370,000 borrowers. So the initial concept was different, but as they say, that the journey of the mountain starts with the first step. And we have been able to prove that this financial and this social intermediation could be undertaken on the basis of brotherhood, generosity, altruism. If a program which is based on commercial interest is sustainable, then why a program which is based on mutual respect and altruism should not be sustainable? The range of loan is from $100 to $500, and the average loan size is around $250. And we have enlisted more than 150 small businesses which could be started with these loans. For example, there is a small, vegetable cart, fruit cart, sewing machine, then, some kind of a beauty parlor, some kind of a grocery store, some kind of a stationery store. People, start some businesses like plumbers, like cobblers, like shoemakers, like they are furniture makers, and there are so many different. Actually, it depends on the economy of a particular area, which city you are working, what kind of businesses are needed there. So there are plenty of such enterprises which just need some brain, some entrepreneurial quality. If they get the requisite amount of capital, so this capital and their entrepreneurial ability, that produces wonderful results. Everybody is not entrepreneur. The point is that we focus on economically active poor. First of all, we assess that whether somebody has the requisite social capital to get money. Is he or she permanent resident of a locality? Is he or she involved in any kind of criminal activity or drugs? So these are the social some norms which we examine. Then once this screening is done, then we try to assess the entrepreneurial potential within that person, whether he has the market knowledge, whether he has the requisite skills, whether he has basic understanding of how things are done in a market. So basic intelligence is extremely important. Microfinance is extremely important, but we should be creative enough to find out that what are the ills associated with it, what are the issues, what are the challenges, and we should not confine to one single answer. So that's the creativity which we brought in, that we were forced to think that if we have to develop a program, if we have to design a program, it should be at one point of time extremely efficient in terms of cost, and at the same time it should not contradict the basic ideology, faith, custom, tradition of the society. So it should be all embracing, and without taking into consideration these things, the developmental objectives cannot be achieved. So development, if development means education, if development means health, if development means political rights, if development means environment, then development also means financial inclusion. You give them financial inclusion, you empower them, you give them an opportunity to unlock their potential, and people will do wonders. You will be amazed to know that 70% of our borrowers have now become our donors. So not only they are returning the money at a rate of 99.8%, but they are also becoming donors and giving small, tiny donations, and that is deposited in our revolving fund and then being utilized for on lending to new borrowers. So this is the change, and this has been inspired because the basic vision is different. We don't claim that we are doing business with the poor. We submit that we are doing a partnership with the poor. We are doing all these things on the basis of the concept of solidarity with the poor and the brotherhood with the poor.